Hello and welcome to this first look at the new season 4 football. And let's get this as DFS Army. This is Tom.
Hey guys. All right, Ash, how's it going?
Yeah, pretty good. Yeah.
Good man. Let's excited to be back. Let's get into it. We've got a bunch of teams to get through every team, so let's get after it.
Yeah. So, do you want to start with your thoughts on the Arsenal side?
Yeah, sure. I can kick things off, Ash. I mean, look, Arsenal for me, in my book, I think they're probably favourites for me. Obviously, there's a lot of question marks around City and point deductions and everything like that. But even if they don't get anything this season, Arsenal come close twice, obviously within 2 points last year. I feel for me, for City,
things got really bad for City today. Oscar Bob broke his leg.
Did he? I didn't even see that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, even more so then. I mean, do they have the drive and motivation to keep it up again? They don't have anything left to prove. I think Arsenal are hungry. They're after it. They're definitely going to be up there. We know that. I think they're going to actually win it this year. So for me, they're definitely going to be the team that I'll be backing.
Yeah, I think that's all valid points. I think from like a DFS perspective, like it's going to be like Rice again, Saka, Odegaard, Havertz look pretty good at the end of this season. Just gone.
Yeah, exactly. And they signed Calafiori, is that how you say it?
Yeah. I think he'll replace White, I'd imagine.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm actually excited to see what he can do. He's solid left back. They had the best defense in the league last year. So I think that just makes them even better for me. So, yeah, again, they go from strength to strength.
I actually think what they might do is get rid of Partey from defense midfield. I think they'll push Zinchenko in and switch right over to the other side and then put Calafiori in White's position.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the one thing that they are missing, I would just say, is just an out-and-out striker. I mean, Jesus, he's obviously still class, but he was out, 100 days last season? So,
yeah, and he didn't look amazing either in that team. Like, Havertz fits the team better, I think.
Yeah, precisely. So, I mean, if they do snag a striker, like that would be great for them. But I think they're strong enough anyway, just with that squad that they have, and I fancy them to go all the way this year.
Yeah, you can't really back against it, especially like City could be relegated by Christmas. So.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll move on to Villa. Now, I think this is going to be a really difficult season for Villa. People are predicting them top 4. I don't see it. I think with the losing Douglas Luiz out of midfield, they're going to really struggle. Onana's nowhere near as good.
Yeah, I agreed on Onana. They got Maatsen in. Can he hit heights that people think he can do? We'll wait and see. I mean, Ross Barkley's a good signing. I think he had a very good season last year.
I've seen Maatsen play a bit when he played for Coventry. I saw Maatsen play a bit, and he is a really good player. But I mean, it's a bit of a step up from Coventry to Villa.
I mean, the only thing that I would say with them, there's a couple of things for me for Villa. Obviously, Emery's a class manager. He took Villarreal to the semi-final in 2022 of the Champions League. So they have signed 6 players. They're 23 and younger, so they're a young team. Now, is there going to be too many fixtures for them with the Champions League as well? That will kind of be my only thing. Is it just going to be too much? I don't think they have the squad depth to keep up. I did read a filthy rumor that they have been chasing João Felix. So, let's wait and see by the end of the transfer window if that goes through.
They'll have a lot of competition for him, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I mean,
he's a disgusting player. Yeah.
Yes, like if they get him, I mean, although with Watkins there, I don't know how they would set that up or how they would play.
I'm guessing McGinn would go into Tillerman's position, Tillerman to go to the bench, and then it'd be Watkins and then João Felix as like a false nine behind.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. So, I mean, look, they're kind of a watch this space for me. I do think they overachieved a little bit last year. But, Maatsen in that side is going to make them a little better there. I'm same as you. I agree. Onana, I don't think is really that good. Obviously, Bailey, McGinn, and Watkins. But, yeah, if they get Felix, I will probably feel a lot different about them. But as of right now,
that's fair. That's fair. Yeah. I've heard a rumor today about Bournemouth that they might be getting Mavidashvili on loan.
Really?
Yeah, because Liverpool's going to buy Mavidashvili and then they're going to loan him out to Bournemouth for 2 years. And then by that point, Alisson will be retiring. So then he'll go as Liverpool's number one. And also in the meantime, getting crucial Premier League experience.
Yeah, I mean, makes sense. And what they had their highest ever points total last season, I think, but they came 12th. So, they were definitely on the up. I mean, they made terrible signings last summer in the sense of they weren't bad players, but they all got hurt. So, I think they lost the first 9 or 10 games and then pulled it around last year. I mean,
and they've lost Solanke.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's a massive.
I think this kid in midfield's like a baller. Alex Scott, he is a baller.
Alex Scott, yeah. I don't really know too much about him, to be honest.
But, he came up through Bristol City's youth academy.
Yeah, okay, decent. I mean, they still got Clivert. They signed Unal up front.
He's decent. Yeah.
Yeah. So, they've got some decent firepower. I do think they'll probably finish about mid-table again, though. I can't see.
I think that's generous, Tom.
Do you reckon?
Yeah. If they get Mamadashvili, my opinion changes because he'll save them 8-9 points on his own.
Yeah, that's fair.
But yeah, I don't think we need to say much about Bournemouth. Really, I don't think we're going to be attacking them too much in DFS unless it's
not a team that I'm ever going to attack from DFS.
A cheap Tavernier, maybe if they're playing Man City or someone, then he can still get you the floor. But
yeah, or if they're on a Monday night showdown and I'm absolutely scrapping for players, then
you have to have a couple of bevvies before you do your lineups.
Yeah, definitely, always. Let's be honest. There's not much to say here for me. Bad season, obviously, last year in the relegation battle. I mean, Tony is obviously there for now. Apparently, his contract ends next summer.
It does.
I don't think they'll ship him this summer, but January they will definitely be looking to cash in.
It's their last point to get any good money for him. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So they're definitely going to have to cash in on him. They signed Thiago from Bruges, but apparently he's out for 3 months already. So, again.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Another great signing.
Yeah.
So he's out. So I think they'll hold Tony until January because he was kind of going to be sort of slot in there. They signed Carvalho from Liverpool as well. Obviously an attacking
He's a good player. Did you hear what he said about Liverpool? He slagged them off as well.
Did he? No, I didn't.
Yeah, he said the new manager Slot. He didn't have very good words to say about him. Yeah.
Oh, really? Yeah, well, the Dutch, I mean, there's some strange characters floating about there. So, yeah, I can understand he's not going to probably get on with Carvalho. But, fair enough. I mean, look, for me, I think Brentford is probably going down this season.
Really?
Yeah, they're one of my bottom three, actually. I was, and I know we'll get onto that just at the end for a wrap up, Ash, but I actually have them down as going down for me this year.
Wow. I think from a DFS point of view, Like, if it's a full slate, the only players I'm going to here out of Brentford is Mbemo, Sade. He's pretty good. Kevin Sade. And Jensen probably. And Collins and Pinnock if like you need a cheap centre back. Other than that, I don't really rate Wisser. I don't think he's very good. So.
No. And I always pray that Janelle will actually do something decent, but I'm still
he never
waiting.
does. Yeah.
No, I'm still waiting. So he's just going to be a cross off the list for me this year. I don't see him
waiting for Janelle to do something good is like when you're a kid and you're waiting for Christmas and it's only February, you know.
Yeah, yeah, we'll still wait. The thing is, Christmas comes around, Janelle doesn't.
Okay, so we're on to Brighton now. I'm really gutted that Newcastle sold Minter. I'm really gutted.
Yeah, so I was going to look for you to tell me a bit about Minter, Ash, because I haven't really seen too much of him.
So Newcastle bought him last season, and we bought him cheap, and he was like this huge prospect, and we loaned him out to Feyenoord, and he smashed it. And then FFP came around, and we had no choice but to sell him. And Brighton's got themselves a bargain. I'm going to tell you that right now. In pre-season, I think he's got 4 goals and 3 assists.
Right. Okay. Decent. I don't know what to think with Brighton. Obviously, they got a new manager in Herzler, who is the youngest. Never heard of him. Yeah. He's the youngest. He's only 31, which makes me feel hella old. But he's American born, but he's obviously from a German family. But I mean, for me, he got a second tier German side promoted to the Bundesliga. That's all he's done. And just to give him the reins at Brighton, I mean, I know Brighton are historically quite good at this, like identifying talent from managers, but I just think he's out of his depth here.
They moneyball it, don't they? They just go on stats. Yeah.
Yeah, so I honestly think Gross has left, gone to Dortmund.
Who's on set pieces? Joe Pedro is going to be massive then. Wow.
So he's got. I mean, Estupinan obviously is still there.
Injured.
He's still injured for now. There's actually a little DFS special here.
Barco
is Barco. So apparently he is will take over corners until Stupinan's healthy. So start of the season could be a couple of little cheapy. I haven't looked at his price, to be honest. I say cheapy, but just a little unknown.
I can tell you his price. Hang on, I've got it open. He's 5.4k for the first game.
Okay, that's quite expensive for what I was.
It's not,
He is on corners.
Lewis Hall is 6.1k, and I think he's got nowhere near the floor that Barco's got. So I think Barco's price is pretty good. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Well, he's a good little target for week 1. They've shipped out Buonanotte as well. Not that he was ever great for Leicester, DFS. Right? Yeah, he's gone to Leicester on loan. So, I mean, they still got Matoma, Minty will obviously slip in there, Dingra, Stupinan, absolute DFS wonder, Lewis Dunk off the corners. So
that's going to be a nice.
But I think the manager.
Yeah, Barco and Dunk together for game 1 is pretty spicy way into Brighton team.
Yeah.
That front 3 is frightening for me. Forget Welbeck, he's past it, but Minter, Pedro, and Mitoma, that could open some defenses right up.
Yeah, I don't know how Welbeck is still in the league, to be perfectly honest with you. He's so old, he passed it. They could do with a striker badly. They haven't spent any money, so they've hopefully they can, maybe get an half-decent striker in.
Evan Ferguson, he's out at the moment, but I'd play Ferguson over Welbeck all day.
I think Ferguson will probably start most over Welbeck this year.
And don't forget, they got March who's injured as well.
That's true. He's someone I forgot about, Solly March, to be honest.
Yeah, and this guy's not bad, and Sisso.
Yeah, he's decent. But
I think
the manager out of his depth.
Mid-table, I think. But yeah, I agree. Like, I don't know the manager, so if you think he's out of his depth, yeah.
Here's the revolving door of Chelsea.
Yeah, I think you got something to say about Chelsea, so I'll let you go first. Yeah.
I don't even know where to start. Actually, so much. I mean, another year, another manager. The owner thinks he's running an MLB team. It's like obviously they came sixth last year. I mean, the manager, again, he got Leicester promoted to the Premier League, then left. But, like, what I will say about him, he was Pep's assistant in 2022. So he has been in around, like, that, elite winning atmosphere. So, he's got a decent grounding in the game. Apparently, from what I can gather, like, I didn't watch that many championship games last year. He does kind of play boring football, a bit more like Pep-esque with the holding on to possession and then just striking. Now, he obviously does have some really good weapons in this team. Cole Palmer had the season of his life. Sterling can still get it done. Nkunku, I think he's still got some growing to do, but, he's still there. But, yeah, like for me with Chelsea, you just never know. It's so hard to know because there's such a revolving door. And, they've brought in Dewsbury Hall as well, who was kind of the linchpin of the Leicester midfield. So, does he start?
I think he'll start where Lavia is.
Yeah, fair enough. Like, I just wasn't really sure.
They got 8 goalkeepers,
Yeah, it's absolutely wild why they even brought in a goalkeeper. They signed Neto as well. So, which is a strange one for me because does he start or do they just sign him to sit on the bench?
No, he'll start and Sterling will go on the bench. It's going to be Palmer and Nkunku and Neto. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
But Neto's hamstring will go after like 4 games.
Yeah, and then they'll be stuck on his long contract.
And Reece James is injured already again.
Surprise.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously for DFS wise, don't forget the lineup killer, Midrick, or however you say his name, who inevitably will come off the bench and destroy any successful lineup you have winning at GPP.
Yeah, someone will have him who hasn't looked at the lineups, and he'll score like 2 goals in like 5 minutes. Yeah.
Either him or Nani, one of the two is going to come off and destroy your dreams. So that's a given.
Yep, I think for me, my hot take for the season, I think Nkunku absolutely batters the Premier League this year.
Yeah, solid. I mean, he's definitely got the ability. Like, I think he should get a lot more ball, especially with Dewsbury Hall. If Dewsbury Hall's going to play and kind of lock up that midfield, you got Palmer's just going to like unlock him. So they could have a really good partnership.
Yeah, I think the top 3 goal scorers this year in this order will be. It's going to sound boring. The first one, Haaland.
Let me guess. His name begins with Isak.
Yeah, Isaac's second. Yeah, and then Nkunku's third. Yeah.
No, fair enough. It needs to be seen, but yeah, for me, Chelsea, maybe 5th or 6th. I just don't see them pushing on maybe ahead of.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good season for them, 5th or 6th. I think like look at like the average age of their squad as well. Like they're all really young. I don't think Sanchez is going to be the goalkeeper. By the way, if he was, there's no way they signed 2 goalkeepers in the preseason.
Yeah, it's straight. Like they're going to have to ship someone else, surely.
Ship someone out? They've got 46 players in their squad.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they need to ship like 20 out.
Well, hopefully they want to make some of that money back. that they've been spending.
Now, Palace, for me, for DFS this season, there's a couple of really good options, but I think they will have a bad season. But Muniz is going to be really good for going forward, and he's normally quite cheap. And then Kamada, he's a really good Japanese attacker. And obviously Eze is going to be like the baller. I think like he's going to get 90% the set pieces now Elise is gone.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, this has Edouard starting. I mean, I had Mateta, but I know he's maybe being sold. Has anything happened there?
I haven't heard anything yet.
Well, I've heard that Eze and Mateta are both wanted. I mean, can Palace hold on to them?
They don't need to sell.
Yeah, I mean, I think the big thing is keeping hold of Eze. If you can keep hold of him, you got Mateta. That's really going to kind of define their season. Obviously, they did a great job at the end of last season. They were absolutely on fire. But yeah, for me, they're kind of going to be a mid-table.
There's some news came out today about Palace. Newcastle have walked away from Matt Gay. That we're not going for him. They wanted too much. They wanted too much money. The chairman called Matt Gay a generational talent. Like, really?
I think that's a bit of an exaggeration, but yeah.
Even Matt Gay came out on social media and said, "I'm not a generational talent."
Yeah. Well, at least he knows.
Yeah. I don't think we need to say much else on those.
There's not much. It's not much. There's not much here for me. I mean, if they're on the slate, lock Eze, walk away.
Yeah, and if Eze's not playing, lock Wharton.
Yeah.
Because he will take the set pieces when Eze's not on. Now we're going to the scum. I mean, the Everton. Yeah.
I mean, they're just every year god awful. I mean, they did well to stay up last year. Don't get me wrong. Dyke is a good manager. He has no resources to work with.
No.
You know, they had a proposed takeover that collapsed.
It did. Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, for me, it's going to be more the same again. They're going to be fighting for their lives. Like, they still got no strikers. Bloody Calvert-Lewin's made of glass. Like, you know, it's just like they can't score goals. They do have a good midfield. Like, it's solid. But
and they got the young kid from Villa, Tim. I can't say his name, but I wrote. No, I'm not going to try that one.
Okay, yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, they no, don't. They got Jack Harrison in from Leeds though, so that's a decent signing.
And Decore is good.
Yeah. Again, for me, I don't have room.
I think they get rid of
Decore's good. He's always cheap as chips. You know.
Yep.
I hope they do, just so we don't have to deal with will they, won't they, every year. But yeah, they're going to be in a relegation.
And they're likely to get another points deduction.
That's probably all I have to say about it.
Yeah. Now, Fulham, this is quite interesting. Smith Rowe is a really good option this season. He's going to get, in my opinion, him and Pereira are going to split set pieces. And then Muniz is always a good option for striker. And Adama Traore is fast but no end product. Yeah. You got any thoughts on the Fulham line?
Yeah, I mean, like losing Mitro obviously last year. They lost Palina now. Sorry, Ash, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Ash?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Sorry. Yeah, obviously they lost Mitro. They lost Palina. They again don't really have that, you know, out and out goal scorers. Smith Rowe is obviously a really good signing. Sessegnon they've got coming in as well. I've heard that they've gone in for McTominay, whether they get him or not. remains to be seen. I mean, I don't really know where he would play in this lineup.
Lukic,
Muniz is too hot and cold. Yeah, it would have to be over Lukic. Muniz is very hot and cold. For me, he could either win you a GPP or lose you a GPP.
Oh, you'd never play him in cash, no.
No, but for me again, they're a middle of the table side. We'll take one or two pieces. Castagni, Robinson.
Leno's always good for a GPP. Yeah.
Yeah, Leno. Iwobi can have his moments, but again, he's very boom or bust.
Iwobi has so little moments, he can keep them,
Yeah, and then just when you wish you hadn't played him, he bangs in the goal.
Oh yeah. Now this is a team who I think actually might stay up this season.
Go on, Ash, because we have very different thoughts on this one.
Well, they got a really good goalkeeper in Muric. He played really well last season for Burnley. I know Burnley didn't do great, but why I'm saying this is they've got, in my opinion, 3 good defenders. Leif Davis is really good. He can, not just attacking wise, but defensive as well. So I think they'll be okay. With Greaves backing him up. And then Turnsby used to be a Man United kid, and he's pretty good. So that's the 3 reasons why defensively I like them, and Muric, of course, as well. Where they'll struggle is defense midfield, because those Taylor and Morrissey are not very good. But Delap's decent. I think they could.
He's a Man City kid, right?
Yeah, Rory, yeah. Oh, Liam, sorry.
Yeah, Delap. No, I like him. He's a City kid. He scored 8 goals last season. So, I think if anyone, they're going to be, for me, though, probably the whipping boys, Ash. I just don't see, they've largely unchanged their squad from 2 promotions ago. Delap, there's some good players in here individually. They run an aggressive attacking game. I just think they're going to get absolutely smashed on a counter at this level.
Maybe it's I want them to do well, but yeah.
Yeah.
I do think they have some individual brilliance. I think the goalkeeper's brilliant. I do. I think he could play for 10 of the 20 teams in the league. I think Turnsby is good enough to play for a top 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20th team. So not relegation necessarily. And Leif Davis, whether they stay up or go down next year, he'll move to a better team.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is going to be like our Luton from last year. There's going to be some decent players. They'll put in the odd good performance, but it won't be week in, week out. But I'm excited to actually see them, because I haven't really, if I'm honest, I haven't watched them play that much. I don't watch much Championship football over here. So, yeah, I'm actually quite excited. We'll definitely get some little, some good plays from this, and, just sticking with the better players.
Yeah. All right, that's about all we have to say about Ipswich. Leicester. Yeah. I think given Leicester... Oh, go on, you go first, mate.
Yeah, so I was just consider, just from as an overview, weird one. Obviously, losing their manager to Chelsea straight after they get promoted is not ideal. They signed Steve Cooper now just because he's Welsh. Ash, before you say anything, he's obviously kept. He hasn't been there and done it. And kept teams in the Prem, but for me, he's not really good. He can help them. I think they'll stay up. I don't think they're going to be in danger of going down. They're way better than a few of the teams we mentioned, including Everton. I think they obviously lost Dewsbury Hall, but they've signed Bobby Reed. Buonanote's on loan there. No, he's not on that starting team yet. Mafadidi is good. They've got some really solid players. I don't think they're going to set the world alight, don't get me wrong, but they will upset some big teams if they have their off day.
And they got Vardy on the bench. He's good for like a 10 minutes goal, you know.
Yeah, I can't believe he's still playing, but yeah, yeah, he can definitely come on and bang in a goal.
He's still on 150 a week or something as well.
Is he? Jeez, it's
Yeah,
all right for some.
yeah.
I
know.
will definitely be using Vardy at some points this season as my bench super sub.
I know how you like your bench super sub, man. Yeah.
You know it. Yeah, you know it.
One thing I'd say about Leicester is I really do rate Bobby Reed. I do.
Yeah.
I think he is ridiculously underrated. I think their weak point is Chowdhury. Chowdhury is terrible. Yeah. But apart from that, yeah, I agree. They'll probably get like 14th or something around there.
Yeah.
Now we're going on to one of the favourites.
Yeah.
Where do you see Liverpool?
I don't know. I mean, they could get. It's gonna for me. I think could get third again. I don't see them kind of challenging for the top. I think just with a change, Klopp being there for so long, you know, like Slot needs. Well, I'm not going to say slot in because that is absolutely terrible. But he's probably going to take a season. I think just they haven't made any signings. He's got all the squad that Klopp had. I don't think he's going to approach it the exact same way. You know, obviously with his team, I mean, Gakpo's not on there, but he was class in the Euros, you know, with Salah there.
I think this lineup's wrong. I think Gakpo starts, Diaz doesn't. But, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, yeah, if Gakpo brings his Euros form to this team, like they could be class. He just hasn't always transitioned that to the Prem. But they've definitely got the talent. I just don't know. Hopefully, you know, the new manager doesn't try and change too much.
I think he will.
You know, that's the thing. So do I.
I think he gets sacked by Christmas. Honestly,
you reckon?
Yeah, I think he'll try and change too much, and like people, like the if they start bad, the fans will want what Klopp was doing. So like pressure will get on, and he'll get sacked. I reckon Klopp comes back at Christmas.
Yeah, because from what I've read, like this guy plays a very like structured game, whereas like Klopp was more off the cuff, fluid, and this guy's very structured in certain areas. So unless some of these guys have had Klopp for however many years, so it's very difficult to go from that mindset to switch to be right now. I have to be structured.
I think, Klopp will be begged to take the job back at Christmas, and he'll take it. Yeah. I think Liverpool will finish 6th or 7th place this year. I could look like a complete moron, but
yeah, I wrote on my notes that I was making top 5. So, and bottom half of that when I say top 5, 4th, 5th.
Yeah. I think that's all I have to say about Liverpool, really. Trent could have a really big season under this new guy. That's all I'll say.
Yeah. They're unchanged. There's no new signing, so we know what we're getting with Liverpool.
So Man City. Okay, so with Bob getting injured, apparently Man City now are looking at one of 2 players to bring in. They want either one. I hope they don't go after Anthony Gordon or Luis Diaz from Liverpool.
Okay. Well, they just signed that Savino kid, right? He's a good player, fast winger. Does he slot in for Bob? I don't know.
He could.
My whole thing with City is difficult because, you know, and I mentioned it right at the beginning of this, but they've moved up the court case, the ruling to September, but then the charges, or we won't know what the charges are in full or what their punishment is until January. Now, I think they're going to get spanked on the point deductions, if I'm honest, and could I potentially be relegated or at least completely out of contention, depending on if the Prem wants them out of the league or not. Money probably states that they won't get relegated, but we'll see. I don't know what Klopp's drive is. Pep's drive is anymore. He's won everything. He even said he's done it all.
He came out and said something about the court cases, didn't he? He said that if it turns out that they've done anything wrong, he'll walk.
Yeah, exactly. So, he could be out. They could get fined in January. I mean, they could be out of the league. We know what, again, with this team, we know what Haaland can do. KDB's not on there, but, he's obviously...
Yeah. He will be in.
It's weird why KDB is not on there. Yeah.
Well, what I think they'll do with Bob getting injured is KDB slots back in and Bernardo just goes where Bob is.
Yeah, that's what makes the most sense. Because then, McAtee, he's not going to start surely over Rodri.
I mean, he's really good, but no.
Yeah. So, but yeah, we know what we're going to get.
A good option from the bench, McAtee. But yeah, what you said is right. For all we know, they're relegated by January. Yeah.
Exactly. They might have a complete fire sale in January, and none of these guys are at this team come the end of the season.
I think that the thing we've got to think though is, let's say they get found guilty. Then they'll appeal it at the last possible day they can, just to try and push it back another season.
Yeah, that's true. And they may even, what the FA is like. They might split their points deduction over multiple seasons, or they'll do something just so they're not completely out of it. I just cannot believe that they will get hit like they should. It kind of never works out that way. It's always the small boys at Everton's and stuff that
Nottingham Forest. Yeah,
they get punished. City will find a way around it, or a loophole, or they'll just go legal and string it out.
Money.
Yeah, exactly. But unchanged for DFS for City.
Man United. Now here we go. They just signed De Ligt and Masawawi from Bayern Munich.
Yeah, two good signings.
I'd say world-class signings. Yeah.
Yeah, my issue with United is I just cannot stand Ten Hag. I think he stinks. He is literally... He just keeps signing Dutch players, Dutch coaches. I think he's won a cup and stuff like that. For me, I just don't rate him. They play terrible football. They got some world-class players. It's just, for me, they just don't show it.
They don't play as a team. They play as individuals.
Yeah, exactly. Mainu was, arguably England's best player at the Euros. He's class. I do think Garnacho is literally going to have the career of his life. He sort of broke out a little. I don't want to say break out because he was always good, but he probably had a really good season last year. I just think he's going to be even better this year. Yeah,
he looks it. And Ahmad's pretty good as well. Good youngster. Yeah,
Ahmad was class. Casemiro, I just don't think he'd be there. I can't believe Eriksen doesn't start after how good he was.
I'd imagine he will. Casemiro, they're trying to ship him off to Saudi.
Yeah, which I think that'll happen.
80 million. He's not worth 80 million.
Absolutely not. No, he's worth about 8 million.
I'm not sure Rashford starts either. Although he did well, he's done well in pre-season, so maybe they do go with him. Yeah.
Has he? Because I haven't watched them play.
Yeah. I don't know if his numbers, goals and assists, have been there, but he's looked good. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Look, he's going to be he might be a sneaky start of the season, Ash, kind of under the radar, where people think he had a terrible season last year and he's still terrible. Yeah. So we might get a bit of leverage on him on the first couple of slates.
Yeah, and like maybe like DFS wise, I'd ignore Garnacho maybe because that's where most people will go. So I'd go like Ahmad instead and pair him with Rashford,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
just like or get just forget those three here and just go Maino directly to Rashford. Yeah,
yeah. And
because
obviously we know.
he pops up like in so many shooting positions. Maino, he is fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, he's just going to get better and better. So yeah,
Yeah, he's
he's
19, isn't he, or something?
yeah,
Yeah.
something crazy like that. Yeah, so he's gonna really have, I think, a breakout year. Kind of, if he had any confidence issues, they should be put to bed now after what he did. So yeah,
I doubt he's got any confidence issues. He doesn't
not
play
anymore.
like he does. He don't play like he does. He was pulling strings for England. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So like, and we know what we're getting with Bruno. Absolute smash play
Yeah.
whenever he
Yeah.
plays. So
Yeah. Yeah. One of the first names on the cash line. Yeah.
yeah. All right,
Wow.
Ash. Well, I'm leaving this one to you, buddy.
Yeah. So I don't think Livramento is going to start the season like everyone does, but I think Trippier will still start the season. Where it comes to Dan Burn, people are thinking Dan Burn's going to be starting, but I think Lloyd Kelly will play instead of him. I think Lewis Hall is potentially the best season-long player for Newcastle other than Isaac, because Isaac is good for everything this year. Joe Linton's going to be back. Longstaff won't be playing once Tonali comes back because he's only got 3 games left of his ban. So I think Tonali, Bruno, and Joelinton could be the best 3 outside of Man City midfield combination.
I feel for Loggy, the poor guy. He played every minute last year. He probably
he was blown out of his ass, wasn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, by the end, you were just like begging him to sub him, just give him a break.
Do you know he played with a partially damaged foot for like 10 games?
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Yeah, like crazy. But
And this guy here, Jacob Murphy, has been on fire preseason.
Yeah,
he's the most informed player in preseason. Yeah,
really. The only thing I worry about is your defense because it has not been solid and have leaked goals. But Pope being there now instead of
useless Dubravka. Yeah,
I can't even remember his name. That's how bad.
Dubravka. Yeah,
yeah.
We signed a new number 2 as well. We signed Vlaka Madimes from Forest, but he was Benfica's goalkeeper. Yeah.
Yeah, he was really good until he joined Forest. So
yeah, it's something fine. About Forest when they sign keepers. It's the same with Matt Turner, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But I think Isaac is the best complete striker in the league. Not finisher, but complete striker. Obviously, Haaland's the best finisher. But...
Yeah, but yeah, you're right. I mean, Haaland just doesn't leave the box, though. So yeah,
no.
You're right. Yeah. So, but yeah, no, I agree. I think Newcastle definitely going to be up there.
I think we'll get 4th.
Yeah. 4th. I wrote top 5 on my thing. So yeah, I think definitely. I think 4th though. I don't see you going 5th. Maybe.
I think if we can sign a really good centre back and an amazing right winger to replace Murphy, we could get 2nd or 3rd. I still don't think we've got enough to win the league, even if we sign 2 elite players. We're like 2 seasons off anywhere near that. Yeah. Oh, am I still here?
Yeah. And hopefully you hold on to Eddie.
Oh, yeah, he's the main one for me.
Yeah.
Eddie Howe.
I said hopefully you hold on to Eddie.
Yeah, I don't want to lose Eddie Howe. Yeah. I think the only way we lose him is if England come after him.
Yeah, agreed.
You can do Forest.
Oh, God. Here we go. Man, they're going to be in survival mode, but let's be honest. I mean, although they're always tricky to play against. Like nobody kind of wants to go there. Like they have some decent players. Like they'll hit you on the count of Valanga, Hudson-Odoi, like obviously Anderson's there, Gibbs White. Like they're solid core, but like this team is just like leaks goals. Like I just for me, they're gonna really. I think they're just gonna struggle. Yeah, I don't really have too much to say. I mean, they have signed Jota Silva, is it, from some Portugal team, who's kind of like from what I read, he's like a Jack Grealish type of player. So where he slots in, I don't know. But
maybe they're thinking they're going to lose Alanga then.
Potentially, yeah. So
I think they've got the worst goalkeeper in the Premier League.
Definitely, yeah.
Matt Sales used to play for Newcastle.
Oh, no wonder you think he's the worst.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Now this is
we won't be playing any Forest.
This is a team who could surprise this season. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I mean, I think they have a good manager like Russell Martin. I know they've added like 7 players already this off season. Like, I think they'll be okay. My only issue with Southampton is like they can be like patchy performances. Like they'll be great for 3 or 4 games, then maybe lose 3 or 4 games. So it's kind of hard to get a full like read on them sometimes. But I think they'll definitely be capable of beating some of the teams at the top side of the league. I guess probably the most glaring thing for me though with them is only 2 sides conceded more goals than them last season in the championship, and both of those got relegated.
Yeah, I think for me, I hope they have a really bad start because they're against Newcastle. Secondly, I think Brennan Diaz was a really good signing, and Adam Armstrong's a really good striker. Kyle Walker-Peters is really good. Howard Ballas is decent, and apart from that, the team's not very good.
Yeah, they signed Adam Lallana. That should tell you all you need to know.
Well, that's not good.
No, like if that's the kind of level of player that you're going for, I think you're kind of doomed.
Yeah, but, I think roll on 17th. Yeah. Then we're on to a decent team. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Solanke just absolutely makes this team unbelievable on paper. Yeah, like on paper, though, I will say that I think obviously the manager's an absolute lunatic, so you never really know. Like he doesn't really have a plan B. He's just like route one. We'll just keep trying to batter on the door until it works. Like maybe he changes this year. I don't know. I don't think he's going to last very long.
I don't think he changes. I really don't.
Yeah, he's too stubborn for that, to be honest.
Yeah, they could be 4-0 up and he'd still be going to get 6, 7, 8 goals. And the same when they're like 3-0 down. Like he ain't going to quit. Yeah, I think Solanke makes his team filthy. They're going to be like streaky though as well, I feel. But when they're on it, you're going to want loads of this for fantasy.
Yeah, Maddison, Son, Solanke, like those 3, Porro as well, like all of those, like for me, like I could probably live without Kulusevski, Sarr, Bentancur, but like give me all the Porro, Maddison, Son, Solanke, like that is just going to be absolute fire.
It's filth, yeah. And like when they're on it, they could score 4 or 5 goals, especially in the first game against Leicester. Like I think they could really put a masterclass on. But then again, it could go the other way. Like Solanke might not like not being like the main guy, and like I think Tottenham could go 1 or 2 ways this season. So But for fantasy, you got to play upside.
Yeah,
So
I wrote down on my pad that's top. I wrote top 8 finish. I think.
Yeah, makes sense. I think that's a conservative and decent now forecast. Oh, I'll let you crack on West Ham, but I don't think this line's right.
West Ham. No, it's not right. West Ham for me is my dark horse this season. They have signed incredible this offseason. Like the manager's the manager. He doesn't play exciting football. Like he's a bit boring. But on paper, like they bought my boy Fulkrug from Dortmund.
I know that's an insane piece of business.
Insane. Somerville from Leeds, like 28 goal contributions last year, 21 goals. Like the guy's unreal. Wan-Bissaka slots in nicely here. Like they still got Paqueta Bowen.
I think Paqueta will get a lengthy ban this season.
Oh, that's true. We don't know what's going to happen with him, but for me, they're a dark horse. If you want to make a pizza bet, this is my pizza bet. They're 150 to 1 to win the league. I think on paper they have the players. I don't think they have the right manager, and I don't think he'll be there next.
Let me just chirp in. I think their goalkeeper is ridiculously underrated as well.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think they are class on paper. Yeah, like I said, I don't know if they can pull it out. I think Fulkrug is going to have a great season. He's somebody that I will always be targeting. Somerville. Especially these are guys who are like early in the season where people don't know them. You probably should be absolutely hammering these because 100%. Like the casual player is not gonna know who they are. Like these games are barely on TV in the US as well, so like it does take advantage of that. Like the championship games, I mean.
Oh yeah. Like here we get all the championship games.
Yeah, but they will be on in the US this year, but they haven't been. So, like for last year, so for example, like a Somerville, he probably goes under the radar first couple of weeks. Fulkrug. I know he's known from his Champions League escapades, but does everybody know that he's now at West Ham? So, like, there's going to be things.
Even like RotoWire, they don't tend to push the Championship playmakers when they get a move to the Premier League, and you think they'd know better.
Right. Yeah. So look, some of the like Wan-Bissaka, I think fits his team very nice. But they are my dark horse, and I will be putting $10 on them to win the league.
We can get the edge. We can get the edge at DFS Army because we know the Championship guys. Whereas like most of the other sites, they just wait for them to produce in the Premier League before they start.
Predicting them.
Yeah.
So for me, West Ham, I'd see them top 10.
I like it. Yeah,
top 10, and then get rid of the manager, get an exciting manager, and probably get up to Champions League next year. But yeah, we'll be having a little sprinkle on pulling off a Leicester and winning the league.
If only you could get 5,000 to 1. Yeah. Wolverhampton. Okay, so where do we start with Wolves? Okay, we'll start with the good points. They've signed Larson. That's a good sign-in. They've sold Neto. I don't like that. So what do I see from Wolves? I see Doherty doing well for them. Altonori doing well for them. He-Chan, he could have a good season, but I mean, I expect Wolves to be fighting relegation this year.
Yeah, I mean, they had such a bad end to last season. It's hard to really see them like changing much. One thing though, like their manager that they brought in last season, like the guy's never had a preseason with any team. So I mean, let's wait and see. I agree with you. I don't think there's going to be too much change. They did sign Rodrigo Gomez from Braga. He did have 14 goal involvements in 30 games last year, so I don't know where he slots in. But does Huang stay healthy? Don't know. Like, I just too many question marks for me. Larson's obviously good.
And he's going to be on
Nori,
set pieces. Yeah.
Yeah, like Nori is always the DFS guy. If you don't have him, he scores. So make sure you always cover him because every time I don't play him, he seems to score.
They've got Tommy Doyle. He's decent, but yeah, I mean.
Yeah, for me, there's nothing too exciting about Wolves. I won't be rostering them too many times. They'll kind of be more place fillers for me, probably, what I really need.
Yeah, if say Nor is against Man City and he's 3.8k, then you may as well just play him anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, because he can bang in a goal.
Yeah. I think that's all of the teams. So shall we talk about who we think will get top 4?
Top 4 finish in the league?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. For me, like I said, I mean, number 1, I think, is Arsenal. I think they're going to win. Thoughts? Who do you think is going to win, Ash?
Oh, I think this year will be. Well, I would say Man City, but I do think they're going to get a hefty points penalty, so I'm going to say Arsenal as well.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I would say Man City, like I said, but I don't. When I first wrote this down, I had them like Man City second and Arsenal just having more of a drive to get it done. But now I've thought about it more and what that fight is going to be, and it's definitely going to be enough to take them out of contention of winning the league.
It should be anyway. It should be. If it's the same justice as Everton and Forest.
Yeah, exactly. So I would probably not even have City in my top 4. I think Arsenal take it.
Yeah, they're not in my top 4 either. Second place?
Arsenal first. My second place team, I'm probably going to go Liverpool.
Okay, and I'm going to go... you know what? I might get some heat for this, but Newcastle.
You'll definitely get heat for that.
Yeah, well, I would again. I would have them to finish third, but I don't think Man City will be there because of the points.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. My third team, third, I've gone Chelsea. That's I just don't know. Like with them, again, they have the players, they have the talent, they should be in the top 3, but. Whether they
just don't seem to work for them, does it? Yeah.
No, and they can't just keep firing managers till some guy. Like, what are you hoping is going to happen? Like, some guy's got to win every single game of the season. Like, not going to happen.
No. I think Liverpool third for me.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. And I got Newcastle 4th.
I got Chelsea 4th. So yeah.
So everywhere around. So yeah, I mean, look, obviously that's good. We agree on all the teams, so that's a good start.
And top goal scorer, is it just the basic Haaland?
I don't know with Haaland because not necessarily the points thing as well. I just think I'm not sure. Can he do it again? He's been very lucky with injuries. Like, I know he sat out a little last year, but he didn't really need to. I'm gonna go. I think Isaac takes it.
I'm doubling down on Isaac as well. I think if it's down to whether he can stay fit.
Yeah,
because he has a better goal, he has a better scoring per game ratio than Haaland, but Haaland bangs more multiple goals in than Isaac. So.
Yeah, and like the wheels could come off at City at any point. So, at least with Newcastle, as long as Howe stays, then they're just going to be solid. Yeah,
and only one game a week, which is great for Newcastle this season. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
And then we've got relegation. Who do you think will get relegated?
My bottom 3, Ash, are going to be Ipswich, Southampton, and Brentford.
Okay, mine are going to be. Let's have a quick butchers. I think Wolverhampton could get relegated, so I'm going to go. I'll do it in order. I think Man Man City get relegated, I think, due to the financial breaches. I think Leicester will get relegated because I don't like them. And Wolverhampton.
That would be like the wildest relegation 3 ever. But yeah, I really hope City get relegated. But yeah, let's wait and see.
On a realistic point, I just think the teams who came up last season go back down. Maybe Everton go down instead of one of them. But yeah.
Maybe Everton as well. Yeah, I mean, I think Leicester. If anyone's going to stay up, it's Leicester for me. I think.
Yeah, I just don't like them the way they treated Ranieri. Yeah.
Yeah.
I bear a grudge, Tom. I bear a grudge. Yeah.
I know you do, Ash. I know you do.
Okay, and then one last thing. Everyone should join DFS Army. And there's a new discount code, VIP 2024, and you save 20% off. Links in the description. And there will be 2 free picks from my cheat sheet each week on my Twitter account. Okay, anything to add, Tom?
That's it from me, Ash. Look, thanks for listening, guys. Come and join us at DFS Army. Get all the cheat sheets and join us in the Discord. Any questions? Me, Ash, Nappy, and the guys, all the team, we're always around for questions. So come say hi.
DFS Army, where we turn the average Joe into pros. Take care.
See ya.
See ya. Take care, mate. Cheers.